I don't think slowing things down is going to work for Fennel. I would have rather see a composition built around Festival to really set her up for more success that we did see on Ascent. That was one of the few positives we did see.
Yeah, and hopefully that's going to be her on this chamber. But we start things off, okay. A little bit of a shredded step on top of Tube, and a second one there onto Nachi.
Maybe she heard me. She heard me. Great start here to the pistol round, and actually Suzu looking to go even more. Ooh. But Daiki finds two. Ooh. The Kalat headshot.
Well, that's going to slow things down for sure. And we do have the last three players of Fennel that were so ready for this split. We have to cut noise for now.
It's already DRN making moves back towards A, anticipating this rotation coming through for Fennel. A relatively safe position though, doesn't want to commit to a peek ahead of this plant coming through, or any confirmation of presence. Meanwhile, actually, Daiki and Naxi still positioned over towards B, but finally that rotation comes through. The second player now over towards A.
There.
As we're working slowly towards this A site for Fennel, we're hoping for this haunt to get ready, and there you go, it's propped up. It's probably going to be for them to get ready for a fast hit, and this might be a perfect timing as soon as this wall comes down.
Could be. The Toxin cooldown at the perfect time. The green light here for Fennel. When you hear that, 30 seconds left, not much time to work with. Actually, no sound cue given away just yet, but DRN does try to slow orb onto default. Plant will come through uncontested though.
Well, a chip shot being taken here from the back of Heaven. Shots being missed by Festival is forced to TP back, and that leaves Kurumi by herself into sight. Festival trying to bait it out. She's still holding by the default.
Kurumi's tucked in here to the poison orb.
Close by. You do have Naxi, that's good. No! Didn't check down towards the corner. Kurumi gets the kill, and that's going to be Fennel. That's the confidence that he needed.
Actually, hats off to Festival as well, even after burning up that last Headhunter shot. Makes the classic work from range to find the headshot. Fennel actually doubling down on that early aggression. Like I said, Suzu straight up tube. On top of, with the TP actually here, finds the first onto the top of Boiler. Actually drops down, finds the second as well. Daiki, like I said here, total accident on the second, but finds the freebie here with the headshot. Fennel able to close things out though. So on the board here for round one on Icebox. See what the response, if any, from Team Liquid. Just one Sheriff in the hands of Daiki. Over towards A now. Actually, three members over towards A here. Actually, a tempered purchase here.
Yeah. And I'm liking this from Suzu too. The way that she's throwing her smoke towards mid, this is conditioning every single time because she did that to get on top of Tube before.
Which is one of the benefits with having this double controller. You can deploy. This is what Athena was leaning towards with this composition. Have to see when actually the adaptation comes from Liquid.
Did not expect a pistol to win here against a rifle, and it's a 4 versus 4 with Suzu and the rest here of Fennel looking to rotate back towards mid. Unfortunately, the flash doesn't work to get the blindness, so that's Suzu with 4 kills into the round.
Lining them up after that pop flash. He's ahead of it, still finds it. The ace will come through for Suzu, making this Omen work in the first couple of rounds here on Icebox.
The first ace of the tournament, and that's going to be Suzu on an agent pick that we don't expect usually on a map like Icebox, but not only slowing down the pace here for Fennel, it allows them to do quick executions too.
The total opposite of that actually in the first 2 rounds.
Yeah,
Suzu's TPing up onto the top of Tube, aggressively taking these angles, and even there, like you said, on the back of that smoke that's going to be employed very early on to condition Liquid that there's going to be pressure towards mid. Like I said, usually the big indicator, right? Playing Viper on Icebox, wait for that Viper util to come through, and it's a massive indicator towards where the site or where the pressure is going to come in the early round.
The next big thing that we could talk about, by continuously doing these smokes on mid, this allows later on to use the poison orb for pulse plants or whatnot, but this round at least it's going to be the Viper Len putting that poison orb on mid instead. So we're saving at least one of our smokes from Suzu for something else.
I actually think you're in close enough to hear that sound cue from the TP being placed. But with where it's placed, it's almost as if actually it's going to be a late mid lurk. Be careful here, the flash not going to come through, but no kill just yet.
Just getting pinged non-stop, and we know the pressure that Koharu is getting. She's calling for her team to rotate.
Actually trying to find some pressure to backfill Liquid setup, but actually the push is coming through Kitchen.
Exactly, and that's a nice trade coming out. Unfortunately there, it doesn't work out for Koharu. 1 versus 1 against Nachi. But we're flooding slowly this site towards B, where Daiki's now leading under Tube. Kurumi on the top of her opponents, trying to take him down, but it's not going to work out. Suzu, unfortunately, the one that aced before, is going to have to go on a 3 versus 1. Spike down towards the back of the site, not going to do more than a smoke, and that's Team Liquid to answer back really quickly.
Well, this being the round actually with previously 2 rifles coming into this won't really affect the purchase for Fennel. Maybe just a light shield to round things out, actually. Gonna struggle to get the 5th rifle on board, I think, with all utility maybe. A couple of gaps here, the Headhunter being the main one. Fennel wasting no time when that pressure comes through on A. They know they have to just kind of give up their teammate, leave them to kind of stall time, but push through Kitchen, not fully successful. And Daiki actually with a great backstab in mid on the tube.
Yeah. Kitchen battle seems to ensue a lot here for Fennel, at least mid control, or early in this round, mid rounds, but not really able to cross it too cleanly in through all these attempts. That said, Nachi, already some heavy damage forced to fall back and to get the heal off DRN.
Again, being so low though, it doesn't really make it as if Nachi can re-peak here, 66
Correct.
HP. A big tag coming through. Fennel once again drift back towards mid. You can see here almost the paranoia from that early conditioning, right? There's one player towards Kitchen, one towards Boiler still, just to prevent Fennel from achieving this.
It's a double smoke to run through and take control of Boiler. A split from the from the toxic screen,
no.
And Daiki was just waiting for that TP to come up towards that Boiler. DRN holding towards screens. Nice crossfire set up, and that just foils the plans of Fennel to try to get it towards mid. Only one more to go, and that's going to be Festival, who her role was try to go for the lurk. He's going to have to try to go for an ace clutch. Good for 2 at least for now, but getting pinged so much, and Sprite down to 11. But just smiling along her way. Looking to get this clutch, looking to make it expensive, but it is going to be expensive for Fennel as well, should they lose this Phantom. Underhand flash and that swing. Very nicely done by Team Liquid to tie up the game.
I think Festival will get the tour de force based on that, so something to bring into the next regardless, whether or not they can build around that.
Good call.
Suzu with the ultimate early on, yes, but it's pretty much going to be the tour de force coming into this round again.
Surprise!
Just looking to remain unpredictable, right? Just almost doing the unthinkable in some of these executes, but Liquid able to withstand the chaos and recover very well. Actually, a great audible here with DRN to just throw that wall up, slow things down, allow a couple of crossfires to be set up in different angles. Well handled here. Liquid keeping it in check very early on.
I agree with you. The heads-up play to be able to put that wall towards screens. It's unorthodox to do, and quick for her to think on her feet for DRN to get that wall up. And with this 2-2, Fennel is trying to move forward on this half-by Stinger. A couple of frenzies, as it's looking to be a quick push.
Big reveal here. Daiki and Naxi, though, just going to find kills even ahead of this Spike making its way all the way onto site. So Fennel achieving nothing here.
Exactly.
Able to withstand it. It might even be flawless. No, Len will find a consolation.
Just seems very difficult, Mike, to try to push in right now when you have the wall up on the defenders.
Like I said here, the Tour de Force, there's not much actually Festival can do. Liquid not really giving away any open peaks early on, even with DRN standing to face noted on the back of the knife coming through. No real success to be found. I mean, what I want to see is Fennel actually lean back towards a heavier site execute here with the double control. Also, with so many more smokes than the traditional just Viper here on Icebox, you really can smother a site, cover a few extra angles that make it harder. Sometimes people can peek over from the top of B side, for example, over that wall. It might actually just be that. Suzu, a couple of different smokes we've seen now in terms of this B main presence, but actually this one sets Nachi up to find Festival.
Nice little move there, forcing Nachi to hold her ground or try to hold her ground towards yellow. A little bit of a combination from a 0 point to a one-way smoke, but it still makes it a 4 versus 4 situation with both of the chambers down on either team.
I actually preferred the previous one that's actually on that box over the orb that allows safe passage past that corner and outside of garage as well. But it's a 1-for-1, so I argue it could favor Fennel early on in the round.
And Poison Orb with a smoke, a little bit of miscommunication there from trying to cross over on mid.
This is the sort of thing now, you're going to see Liquid start getting inside these smokes, just anticipating this. But Len, the contingency, the diligence.
And that
hold that angle as well,
The Hunter's Fury. They thought that the hit was going to go towards Kitchen, so that Hunter's Fury is now wasted, and that's going to be a little bit less towards the A side on defense. The wall is about to crumble now onto the mid orbit, and indeed it does on the defense to allow now Fennel to move through.
Like he did get marked there. Still going to try and stand her ground, but Suzu, the swing will find the wallbang.
Your duty is not over.
Okay, we're committing to this.
Spotted.
Rez to come up. All three players from Team Liquid are now looking to retake the A site, all from screens. Lots of utility though for Bastarda to try to retake the site. Sorry.
Well, actually, Fennel still have both Snake Bites and the Fragment as well, so a
Yeah.
good post-plant setup here for Fennel.
And we're pushing aggressively. Team Liquid looking for these swings, but the positioning is still too good here for Fennel. With the utility on top of that, it's not even needed. Two players to stay alive as Fennel are able to tie up the game once again. It's 3-3.
Yeah, they dig their heels in, forcing Liquid to explore even deeper towards Belt here. So actually a great timing on the trade here. Like I said, Len actually set up, almost reading this, baiting Liquid into these sort of pushes. And like I said, expect Liquid now to start walking through some of these smokes and really figure out what's going on behind it, because like I said, they're looking to remain slippery, right? They're looking to kind of just catch Liquid off guard in some of these engagements.
And keeping that Omen alive is actually quite important for Fennel. You can see on these pulse plants, we have this one-ways on the right side of A Tower 2 to not allow Team Liquid to get too much vision when they're going for these diffuses. I like it.
Suzu finds another opener.
That was a
Actually
close
just,
call.
yeah, ahead of it. Sees the shoulder poke, and actually Festival posts back up on the angle. Going to be punished for that.
Didn't expect that Nachi was going to push down a little bit further to get a little bit of a more aggressive angle, and punishes it. Especially when Suzu got the early kill to make it an early 4v4 right after. That's a slight mistake coming out here from Fennel.
There's never really a tangible advantage on the back of these first bloods for either team, to be honest.
Yeah.
Both able to negate them very quickly. Actually, Paranoia being posted just to get early progress towards Tube. Actually in anticipation of finding Nachi somewhere with that operator. Another little pump towards mid and B early on, and Fennel will drift back towards A, but that Viper's Pit set up.
Yeah.
It's going to be difficult to crack through.
Especially we don't have a Prowler to work with, so there you go. We're trying to double back.
Thinking better of it now. Maybe on the back of Suzu getting a little bit of progress towards B.
Important battle coming up.
Going to hear this TP though. Suzu's going to have...
Oh,
still
no.
commits to the
And
TP!
misses! Forces the TP back at least. Suzu stays alive. And we talk about the Viper's Pit, but we have it on the attack as well. Suzu then punishes Nachi as she tries to swing back out towards the back of B. But Bastardo's already there towards the back of the side. Null command coming out. 3 kills! Somehow coming in! And that's Koharu gonna have to go for a clutch. And we're still pushing forward with confidence. And Daiki cleans it up, but man, what a hold there for Bastarda.
Bastarda, and again, this is with Fennel actually flooding the site, sending everybody forward to try and find an extra kill here to make sure that plant comes through safely. Bastarda closing the door. And it actually comes down to just the planter being left, and it's so awkward to get out. When you go for that deep plant, you can't retreat back towards B main. Credit once again to Suzu, though.
Yeah.
Creating a little bit of... This TP was...
insane. That's 2 of them right now here, Mike. The first one that went on the top of Boiler that, yes, Suzu didn't get punished for, but yeah, those were some clean shots.
Crispy.
I love this. At least from Team Liquid, what I like now is pretty much how they usually play, except for this one, actually. A wall to push very aggressively on the top of Belt, a knife to find some info, and that's Bastarda just running it down. I mean, there's not much utility to work with, not many good guns right now for Fennel, but you could definitely see it's time for our Team Liquid to just play aggressively again.
Talking about lack of respect, this is off one of the eco rounds for Fennel. Again, Liquid just no nonsense. Nachi even closing it with a bit of flair for the Prime Gaming Flawless. Fantastic stuff. Liquid almost look fed up now. They don't want to allow Fennel any space to set up these fakes, any of this kind of lurking pressure behind this double controller composition. Taking the fight to them.
I mean, look at it. Even the 0 point spotted too. They pinched it up on the Belt as well. All these fights, all these duels coming into their favor and just running it down and really not giving a chance for Fennel to actually have a conversation where usually on these ecos, like, okay, we could slow it down, we could talk a bit, and then boom, you don't have time. You only have the timeout now.
Because I guess a lot of this early rounding is kind of we'll throw a smoke down, see if we can find a peak. And like that's why we saw Len kind of this being a composition change, how much they can build around Suzu really creating some chaos with that TP.
Yeah. So far, it's just her own body with these peaks coming at least from
Our other
the shot
TP's working way better.
Exactly.
Stick to that.
Except for that first attempt. Except for the first attempt on Boiler. But at least we also have other ultimates to work with for Fennel. A Viper's Pit that has yet to be used for a bit, and also a null command. So off this timeout, maybe we could expect something very quick.
I think once we see kind of a comfortable post-bar, we might see that against Suzu. Just so eager to take this opening fight on B main, try and catch off somebody posted up. And we even noted actually in the previous, talking about Nachi being on KO. Usually Liquid like to post up Nachi in these very aggressive spots.
Yeah.
Kind of heavy anchoring one site.
Exactly, on that chamber. And the good thing about that, too, is that when she's going to be very aggressive and actually gets picked off or does get picked off, you have great players as Bastarda and Daiki that can get a 2-3K into the round and just turn it back into favor Team Liquid. So again, this is their playground, but I do love that Fennel are putting up a fight.
I think Festival might have noticed, just pulls out the TP at the wrong time. Daiki unlucky not to find that angle, but again, Fennel. It's an early pump towards B. They try and then pressure towards mid. It hasn't really drawn too much of a rotation other than Naxi headed towards yellow here.
Fortunately there. Caught off guard, is trying to rotate back, and Festival, nice little combination from Team Liquid to not allow Festival to actually party up here inside this B site.
30 seconds left.
Naxi in the back of yellow looking to get pushed forward. Len and Koharu just going to work on different areas of the map. Viper's Pit finally out for a Fennel. Looking at this plant for Kurumi.
Actually, Fragment and Shocked are way too deep, so it doesn't even do an awful lot of chip damage. The second actually might do. Looks as if Fennel going to be able to close this one out, though. Aside any more Bastarda antics.
We do have a knife, and we also have the recon that just went in.
So close to that spray.
Flash on the first, still gets it though, and that's going to be the fade down of Kurumi. Viper's Pit though still up as a nice spot. Len back towards yellow. Beautiful flash. The pit will go down.
Oh
and
my
Bastarda
God.
pushes forward. That's what we call hype out the cast of curse.
Oh my God. I said aside any Bastarda antics, and just like that. I mean, it's such painful timing for Kurumi as well. This flash comes in, Bastarda actually delays the peek inside, maybe anticipating somebody swinging out of the Viper's Pit to almost play anti-flash there, but doesn't even matter. Systematical clearance. Back onto B site. Removes the Viper's Pit. This you look back at the minimap and you think, yeah, borderline unlosable, right?
Yeah. And great positionings they were. Great positions they were, rather, for Fennel. And Bastarda, man, she's feeling confident in this one. Nachi popping off on the first map of Ascent, this time for Bastarda. A 3-round lead for Team Liquid. As we hear this duel de force coming out now for Nachi. Setting up on the top of yellow to look towards Garage. Meanwhile, though, for Fennel, you see from this radar, they're looking for this mid control. A Haunt, a Prowler. Very, very fast once again. We're going to attempt for this hit on Boiler one more time, but it's a lower weaponry. At least Festival does get the first headshot with the Headhunter. As Daiki is forced out of her position. Trying to react back. DRN trying to slow it down, but still, with this ruckus of a buy that we have for Fennel, we've opened up the A site.
Looking to overwhelm the Team Liquid players here. And it pays off. A deep TP, a very safe TP back towards mid here for Festival as well. So can commit to this. Flash going to come through. Actually punished ahead of the TP.
Oh, no.
2 kills here for Liquid.
This is going to happen again. Nachi, though, has yet to pick up a weapon. Len with this lurk. Beautiful kill, leaving Bastarda stuck inside the site. She hears a rotation on the back of Heaven, so at least we'll try to isolate that for a bit. Both snake bites already on the ground. It's time to try to go for a save, and that is a shot and a half from Len. 4 rounds now for Fennel.
And still a very close scoreline here. Fennel almost leaning heavily on that early conditioning of, you know, pumping towards both sides, creating a little bit of pressure with these smokes towards mid. And actually on this round in particular, they just look to overwhelm whoever's playing Boiler and back screens.
Yeah.
And it pays off for them. Suzu with 2 massive kills. Absolutely no right to find the second there onto DRN with the Spectre. And the spirit's still high.
And this is one of those plays, usually high puck, where when you're trying to go for these boiler splits into the A site, you usually have a Sage that's going to wall off the cross. And that's the reason why we see this Viper, the wall coming up, and even the Omen smoke. But we'll talk about that a little bit later. We got action already into this round as Festival gets the headshot onto Bastarda to get an early 5 versus 4.
Look how deep this first blood has occurred in the first 15 seconds of the round.
Yeah.
It's right in front of Boiler. And Fenno able to drift away from it. Causing Liquid to spread very thin, but actually 3 players anticipate this, and they're already over towards B side.
Do have a nice little lurk going out, though, from Suzu out towards Kitchen, and Naxi is going to get dropped. Knife also spotting Nachi somewhere around the site, waiting for this wall to come down. Head-to-head, it's going to be Festival. That marks the target, but it's answered back by DRN. A 4 versus 2, and it doesn't really look at this point. We might want to try to go for it for Team Liquid. They're low on money. They're low on economy. And especially after this fight, DRN's out on low on HP and now finally at 0. It's going to make things a lot more difficult for Daiki. I think this might seal the deal for her to try to go for these exits and save.
I'm not even going to find any here, because there's 3 players for Fennel tucked towards B main. Don't expect any over-peeking other than that one. It's unpunished. That should be 4 to survive here. Suzu actually wants to punish the economy even further. Will come through and find the headshot. Daiki will fall. Brings it within 1 round here on Icebox. Actually, Naxi down to 600 credits coming into this one. A couple of other concerns here. Whether or not actually Naxi, yeah, got the trap, got the full shield as well, so be able to share the wealth just a little bit. Again, Fennel, in some of these rounds, just looks so good in terms of really switching up the pace. Like I said, pushing so deep for that first blood, and then a full retreat for a 4-man push down B main. I said it's so difficult for Liquid to really grasp where the hit's going to come.
Yeah, just a great job there for Fennel to use that utility to push those defenders back towards Boiler, if not pick them off, to then be able to take the control of the top of Tube.
Daiki nearly finding that headshot angle. The Festival escapes with a life. Heavy emphasis towards A here for Liquid on this defense as well. Tour de force in the hands of Festival. Rest of Fennel still probing.
Oh, a change here, as you can see from this mini-map. Tired of getting control of Tube. They decide to wall that early.
Almost trying to use some util to once again create a bit of pressure. Festival, though, will get away unscathed. Another first blood. And again, the hit's going to come through onto B, so Naxi going to be tested here.
Tried to stack your numbers towards the A side, but unfortunately you don't have enough. Oh, with this TP now inside the site, down to 27 HP, waiting for the wall to come up, and there you go. Suzu stays alive, at least for the time being. Spike about to go down. A TP from Suzu towards spawn. That's gonna stop. It's gonna spot Bastarda.
No way. Suzu actually gets away with it and gets the kill. DRN desperate to try and come out and find this kill, and will do. Very early on as well, but Festival posted up with a tour de force, just gives up the angle. The DRN slipped across.
But this still allows her to get a good timing.
You can see the pings coming through. Actually, the information's been relayed. DRN's been heard.
It's ticking. They got to act quickly here for Team Liquid. There's that tap. There's that easy kill. A second one as the slow field goes down. Only 1 more to go for Naxi. It doesn't seem like it's going to happen. And Fennel are able to fight back and tie up the first half 6-6.
Beautiful half from Fennel as well. Even actually with Liquid, like I said, constantly. Almost feels like playing catch-up, right? We're talking about how good they were at playing reactionary on the first map. This is just ridiculous from Suzu. We're talking about what she was going to be able to achieve with that TP. Again, pays off massively here. And even in terms of, yeah, DRN deals with it so quickly, but like we were talking about, actually, the spike was ticking away that entire time.
Yep.
DRN's, like I said, it's based on all this paranoia built early on in the round that Liquid have to double and triple check some of these angles.
Well, Elise, let's TP to GB in the desk and see what they think about Suzu on this Omen.
Tell you what, probably would be the most clunky teleport of all time. And it'd be like, then it'll just fall off a cliff. In any case, though, hey, look at us.
Yeah?
Look at us.
Who would have thought?
Who would have thought? We got ourselves a series, and I'm so happy because, you know, Kukuga, Like, we knew that Fennel could do this. We knew the capability of these players. They're so talented. We're starting to see those guns come online. That's what we needed.
I love what I'm seeing here in Icebox, and I wanted to show it just by one round because Liquid, what they tried to do is go back to what they were doing on Ascent. Let's go extra aggressive. Let's just start every single round with a very aggressive push. And for the majority of the times, especially at the beginning, it worked for them because they just managed to create, literally, to have all the space. Just look at where the Fennel players are at the moment. There's literally no space for them. Nati even goes for almost a no-scope here. And the good thing is that Fennel started reading into this. So what the response from them was literally, oh, you want to be aggressive? Let's be aggressive. Let's actually be aggressive because I can TP, I can do exotic things, let's call it like that. And every single time that Liquid was going on the aggression, Fennel would be aggressive on another part of the map. And that's how the score started evening out.
But you know, though, as we look forward, there's a glaring issue here with the composition of this Fennel lineup, and you're going to have all these controllers in play, and even though Suzu's playing really well, that could maybe be a problem, Athena.
Yeah, I mean, Suzu's going off. She kind of made plays with her janky teleports, her crazy wild
That
Omen
TP
ult.
at the end was good.
It was nuts.
Like, those kind of plays are what kind of turned the tides, I feel like, and actually helped her pop off with her Omen mechanics. But coming into this defense side, you know, kind of seeing Omen and Viper, it'll be a little harder. I mean, you don't have as much delay utility as a Sage, for example. But at the same time, you know, if Festival's kind of going crazy, if you can set her up on one side with an op and you have the Viper on the other side holding it down, then the double controller doesn't look that bad anymore. So I think going forward, like, they can definitely do it.
It works so well with all the double heights that we have on both sides, where you also have the paranoia that adds on to your KO. So I think that there is a lot of versatility into this composition. Definitely one to look out for. And now jumping onto the defense, we need to keep seeing the Suzu that we're seeing so far.
Yeah, you know, hey, anything is possible here, as we have learned throughout all of Game Changers. Let's send it back over to our casters as we get ready for the action.
I think they bring up a great point to the desk. What's going to happen now for Suzu on defense? I mean, they did a great job with her with these teleports playing aggressively, but I don't think you could do that on defense.
It's going to be harder to achieve. I think anything can work if you're putting up the performance Suzu did in that first half. That is a terrifying stat, though. Fennel having an 80% defensive round win rate. Again, this is a composition change we see here. Yes, but again, if you're just going to rely on kind of brute force aggression like we did see in that first half, you can make it work. There's a couple of nice little setups with the paranoia on these close contact angles. Whether or not we see them lean heavily on that, we'll have to wait and see.
Well, here it goes. They don't care. We're pushing forward. It's not with an Omen. It's 3 players from Fennel getting the first blood.
Question being, can Liquid do what Fennel did in the first half better than them? Because again, we talked about potentially getting aggressive in the early round. And actually, Suzu hasn't phased whatsoever here. I'm not sure if there was a sound cue or anything, but happy to greet this.
Okay.
The swap out to the shorty's dirty.
So Len will be first contact to see if we could do some damage right after that, and everybody's converging from Team Liquid towards this green hallway to try to get back into the A site. The wall comes up, trying to get the angle aggressively for Len. A knife too, a dink as well. So that's DRN forced to fall back, forced to even get a heal onto herself.
Paranoia used as well, and actually no confirmation on the other side of it, and the shorty actually letting Suzu down. Daiku will find one.
But she's also at 6 HP.
Yeah.
So did enough damage at least for herself, and also has delayed another push coming out from Team Liquid, another attempt to try to move into this B site. But Naxi's still alive. They still have this wall.
Again, have to wait for that poison cooldown here, but Bastarda actually going to force through. Daiku going to find another one. How have they recovered this? It's a 2v1.
Well, Festival, you're going to have to come big, and she does so with the headshot to the Bastarda. Now here's the plant. Noritz spots Naxi on top of that. She's winning on health as well. Not after running through the toxic screen. Nice headshot. Comes in for the defuse, and she will get the clutch in the pistol for Fennel.
Festival opens it up over on A site and closes it out on B. Beautiful stuff there, as Liquid almost flipped that back in their favor somehow. Again, you look at the HP bars. Again, that pause, for the toxic cooldown. Almost forcing a couple of players out of position here.
Yeah.
Festival's paying no respect to the suppress coming through from that knife, and Len actually finding a freebie. See, Len previously actually positioned ahead of that wall, but I think there's a little bit of fear once Suzu feels as if she's going to be overwhelmed on yellow. Actually, if I'm not mistaken, it was Fennel to find the pistol in round 2 in the first half, right?
Yeah. I actually want to know what the move is every time they win rounds. I want to learn that. I'm gonna start doing that after our cast.
I was gonna say you can bust it out afterwards.
Oh, yeah,
A
yeah.
Fenner win here, you bust out the dance.
Hell yeah.
Okay.
Hell yeah. Well, are they gonna dance this time? It's gonna be Suzu on top of Pipes. 2 kills as they have the round going in on the anti-eco, but it's a force buy still for Team Liquid. Only 2 left alive. Stinger and a Spectre make that only the Spectre of DRN, who's now spotted and stuck at Generator. We're flooding in for Fennel, and that's a bite that's gonna hurt.
Like I said, actually gonna throw Liquid another round behind here, especially with the purchase taken into account. I mean, actually gonna have an opportunity to maybe put a hero rifle in the mix here. I was gonna say maybe some headhunter bullets to work with and try and find a pick, but and actually, yeah, gonna see a toy with the idea. It looks like it might just be a light shield and potentially a Spectre, but we'll wait to see how the purchase sits here. Like I said, Fenner actually getting themselves an extra round ahead here, shutting down that forced purchase, being able to carry across a lot of this equipment. And actually, yeah, it will be the hero rifle here for Nachi to try and make something work. Early on towards A site. Fennel not going to give away a peek, though.
Here.
I'm trying to find information, too, by prowling towards mid. And this is going to be the hero rifle from Nachi. They're trying to get a pick towards this A site. Seems to be a lot easier to do on a map like Icebox. Meanwhile, they're still creating a ruckus, still breaking, trying to break utility towards this B side, trying to waste utility as well from Fennel. But this focus is just going to be a default. We're trying to force rotates here from Fennel as Team Liquid are still looking, waiting for the smoke to dissipate on the top of Pipes.
And a little off kilter in terms of when that one way goes up. Actually, the wall's going up at the same time, so potential here to maybe be caught off guard with that utility cooldown. Not necessarily on this round with, well, I guess what Fenner will assume is a lesser purchase, but a Festival with 2 quick kills with the Bulldog, and actually the spike
30
noted.
seconds left.
The issue that they had there, trying to force rotates on either positions, but nobody's playing towards mid, so you get punished on that.
And actually just desperate to try and get something done with that rifle after the spike is noted. Maybe trying to catch the backside of that rotation, but it's a prime gaming flawless for Fennel here. 9-6 the scoreline. Liquid going to come back in on the purchase. No ultimates online just yet, though.
Yeah.
Bastarda and Daiki, the closest 2 away. Festival lining 2 up there on that double swing.
Nothing they could really do there for Team Liquid when you have the weaker weapons. And into this round where they have weapons to work with, you're looking at Fennel. Do they want to go for some sort of a bonus? And it seems as though they're opting to literally opt.
Yeah, actually putting the operator in here. I mean, even a kill and the death will get the tour de force back, so it's almost cancelling out that purchase. Suzu, so aggressive with that TP.
Unfortunately gets punished for that one, but it almost caught one off guard. Bastarda gets the kill, and that forces a rotate from Fennel out towards the A site. Knife from a 0 point from Bastarda just to clear out to see if anybody's pushing forward towards Maze. But that's going to be a passive setup now, a passive hold for Fennel inside this A site.
With this operator tucked so deep on B, actually they can prioritize. Hoping actually that this Owl drone does get employed to clear out these close angles, and I don't want to see them push any deeper to use it.
Oh no.
Lack of diligence shown here on the way through from Liquid. Daiki will fall, and actually does remove any of that utility for the push onto site as well. Festival might be caught with this suppress though.
Thankfully from the null command, so you got to do whatever you can. You
Beautiful
wasted out the
flash.
time. Yes, that allows DRN to run out. Naxi also cap it onto Len inside this B site, and unfortunately off that null command, off that combination, everything falls until now. Until now as Halu is on a 2 versus 1. The wall up towards spawn, but she's already been spotted towards the kitchen window. She's eyeing in. Nice headshot there onto DRN. Will it happen? We're trying to jiggle peek across. 1 second onto the knife, pushing forward, and that's good. It doesn't, oh no, it doesn't. I thought she had the call from that knife.
When that knife comes through, it doesn't confirm any presence
Exactly.
behind. I thought maybe we're going to swing back towards Snowman, but what a clearance from Liquid to counter this op setup. Actually, as soon as Festival tries to fall back. What is that from Bastardo team to find that kill? But here, the lineup with the fragment to force from back behind that double box, and then the flash onto back yellow. Fantastic stuff. I even noted actually a lack of diligence on the way through with the Aldrone usage, but great counter to the op setup on B.
Oh yeah, and there you go. You see that pressure as well in that 1 versus 1. That could have been won there by Koharu. But just playing on LAN here, it's a big stage.
Like I said though, with the operator investment in the... Now you see the Aldrone come out, yes. That 1 kill and the death puts the tour de force on the table here in round 17. And noted very early on, so Liquid are going to drift immediately towards the A site.
Yeah, so you learn from your mistakes. We also spot it too from the 0 point on the attack, so that rotates everybody out towards the A site. Or
Suzu, man.
She's ruthless right now on these kills.
Suzu's playing a different game, honestly. And actually continuing that success that we saw in the first half. There's a big win condition here in the second. So they haven't got much like late round stall, right, to slow things down. But Suzu still finding opening engagements.
It's almost like a Rengar coming out of the bushes, just getting all these kills.
I don't understand the reference.
We'll get some games in, Mike. 5 versus 3 as Team Liquid are looking to move forward here towards the A site. And a counter paranoid just to try to hold it down. And Suzu, unfortunately, oh, okay, I thought she was going to get caught out of that, but swings down, gets the headshot off to Daiki. 2 more to go now for Naxi and Bastarda with 30 seconds left. I don't know, man. I think it's time to lick our wounds and try to fall back and save these weapons.
Yeah, desperately going to try and hold on to these, I think. I mean, you look, Daiki, Nachi, and DRN, not a lot of funds to spread through this. I'm not even sure, actually, of the ultimate progress elsewhere, but it's unwise to force through and lose these weapons. Something to work with in the next, at least.
Exactly.
But Fennel, find double digits.
I just love how they're inching slowly here off this free cam as they hear the footsteps thundering to Fennel. That really doesn't want to let Team Liquid save these weapons, and Team Liquid, they're not even shooting.
Enemy remaining.
Yes, Suzu finds it. Gonna remove one of those rifles. Get Nazi one off the tour de force. The Hunter's Fury being available here. I almost want to say that's probably the best opportunity you could have, right?
Yeah.
Get an orb early on. You've got those 2 rifles to bring in. The Hunter's Fury, obviously, an ultimate you can find kills with. Suzu gets away with another one, by the way.
Yeah, exactly.
Another TP like that.
It's hit or miss, but when it hits, it hurts. And that forces a timeout now.
It's these kind of unpredictable plays that we talked about, you know, Liquid handling very well on Ascent, but Fennel getting away with murder in some of these.
Agreed. At least the silver landing, which is side before the timeout, is that Naxi dies, but it powers up the Viper's Pit.
To bring out some of this play style as well, after, I gotta say, a very one-sided first map, right? To have the confidence to come out and just say, right, mental reset, we're coming into something. We even said, right, if it goes a little puggy and a little weird, that's what we kind of favor Liquid. But like I said, Fennel just getting away with the unthinkable in some of these plays with Suzu.
Definitely.
24 and 13. I mean, the scoreboard on the side of Fennel is very top-heavy.
Yes. Yes. And when it's chaotic, but at least, as they mentioned on the desk on that first map, when they actually go through the chaos, they're also working together here for Fennel. So despite the crazy plays from Suzu, there's still going to be somebody else right there to try to trade it off.
The other thing as well, we mentioned at the start of this, I mean, I spoke to the coach for Team Liquid, and he was talking about how they are a very prep-heavy team. You can't prep for this.
Oh, you can't.
You can't prep for somebody just pulling something random out and playing like a beast.
Yeah. And also from these moves, like, we talk about the anchoring, the aggressive positioning here from Nachi from time to time, and this is one of the spawns that we currently see towards this B main, sorry. And it's Festival that's holding it up, playing the same style as Nachi on towards that little cubby.
Bastarda actually peeks ahead of the Dark coming through to confirm that Festival was still posted up on that angle, so first blood comes through. No command will be popped. Actually, Nachi going to find Len as well.
Go. So we wanted that aggressive position from Nachi. She's just running in with the team, being the first contact, and this will allow a plant.
Surely they're shut down Suzu now, right? What? There was 3 sets of eyes posted this way. Finally, Nachi going to put Suzu down.
The paranoia hit so many, but she couldn't kill the one that wasn't blind, and that was Nachi at yellow. A 4 versus 2. But we do have, actually, the money's really low for Fennel. We're still going to go for it for a bit. We get another kill here. We have a Nightfall available for Kurumi. And that's going to ping a few.
Big investment.
But great counters coming out. Great utility. DRN slows down towards yellow, so they can't really do much yet. Wall is now being broken. Oh no! Caught on a reload. Kurumi picked up by Bastarda leaving it on a 3 versus 1, and it's not going to work. Bastarda taking the matter into her own hands and gets the round for Team Liquid.
Big pace change coming out of timeout as well. Happy to put their a couple of bodies actually into that shoulder peek onto B main, dealing with Festival immediately at the start of the round. Again, the Aldrone coming through, confirming the first you see Bastarda actually even just going for the wall bang. It looked like much wider peak than that from the other angle. And yeah, sometimes you just got to laugh it off.
Yeah.
Like I said though, Suzu still finding one from the back lines. Liquid come into this, winning that Thrifty now with 4 ultimates online. Obviously that will bolster the economy a little bit as well. 3 players actually sitting comfortable for a repurchase and an operator in the hands of Nachi.
On the other end though for Fennel, we talked about how the economy was a little low. The timing on that one, Festival still gets one. It's a half buy or a small armor that we had for a couple of the players. We're forcing a res really early into this round. But to counter it off, we got the Viper's Pit.
Yeah, Len almost hitting the panic button there to prevent any progress on the side of Liquid towards default. Knife will confirm that actually Len's backed away, because I think actually the AoE did cover the entire Viper's Pit, but I'm not sure actually of the timing here. Len's popped it and completely retreated out of it.
Yeah, we saw the recon dart going inside that pit, really forcing Len to forfeit from her position, but Koharu goes on the top of B main and gets 2 headshots towards control, and that actually is the spike down at the same time.
It's all the way tucked up against the wall here as well, so it's an awkward cross for anybody to retrieve it. Viper's Pit available for Naxi. We see it employed here. Actually, the wall drops. Suzu's got an opportunity here.
Not
Round 2!
the best timings going in for Team Liquid. Naxi's going to have to try to win a 2 versus 1. Has a pit to work with. Has a spike. Has 23 seconds. Pulls out the pit right now. We're just going to try to just stick it in and see if we could actually get a good position on the pulse plant. Prowler misses her. She falls back towards Snowman. Both players from Fennel. Underhand flash for the double swing. Fully blinded is going to be Naxi, and that was well played by Fennel, and to get the defuse to put 11 on the board.
And Naxi's just faced with such an awful decision to make. Does she tuck close to the spike, try and play close contact inside that Viper's Pit, but Fennel stack up. Pop flash is perfect. What a round though to shut that down. 2 players being dealt with ahead of that spike being planted. Like I said, actually slowing things down massively.
Nowhere to run.
Spike down B.
There it is. Kaharu actually the one to find both of those kills.
Yeah.
And here actually you can see completely caught off guard by the Toxin cooldown. And Suzu again given another 2 freebies. How many times are we going to talk about Suzu being in a position to just pick up these, you got to say it's stupid kills, right? There's no other way to say it.
Unorthodox for sure,
Yeah.
definitely. And it's working.
Want to play,
The
let's
pocket
play.
pick, the preparation that we wanted from Fennel, it's paying off. Now we're going to attempt to get a pick here from the Tour de Force in the hands of Nachi. Aldrone also looking to wing out and look for some information. It's going to get the ping on to, actually no ping, but at least the information onto Festival.
I mean, spotted on the Aldrone, yes, but again, unfortunate with the timing on the knife there. You can see Festival almost able to avoid the Aldrone entirely. We'll force out the TP and see if there's any rotation coming through from Liquid here, as finally actually going to be a little bit of focus towards mid. No pressure towards Kitchen as well.
So quiet right now. Kitchen is looking to be taken under control by Team Liquid. Festival unfortunately gets pinged out here by the recon, but it doesn't really matter. Still has the operator to work with. And they both missed their shots against Nachi. Null command then comes out, and this might be the call for Team Liquid to start moving quickly into the site. In the back of B, we still have
Oh my
Koharu,
God.
and an op shot miss once again towards Yellow. But the right-click classic, it's a free gun by the way, gets the frags, and then we're holding it down for Fennel. A 4, make that versus 1. And the last one spotted in the back of this B site. Naxi trying to fight with everything that she can, but she's so low on the HP, and that's going to be it. The cleanup then, and map point for Fennel.
What a round from Festival. Again, just at the last second, that null command comes into effect, catches, effectively isolating her behind Yellow. A couple of awkward exchanges between Nachi as well. Initially, you think Nachi's posted up on that deep angle. She's going to be able to hold, but there's a back and forth where both operators, with the Tour de Force and the operator, just missing each other.
30 seconds left.
What a crazy round. And Fennel on 12, Vans.
It's crazy. And yes, we're talking a lot about Suzu with these crazy kills and these crazy TPs that she's getting, but they talked about it once again on the desk that one of the players you got to look out for is Festival. So they do have 2 layers into the heavy firepower that Fennel currently has, and look at this push towards the B main.
Suzu again.
Yeah.
Fire. It's a 1-for-1, yes, but it slows things down. Len actually retreating away from the site here, but already Kurumi on the rotation. His first blood occurs so deep that they can still get 2 bodies towards B site.
And off her death, Jill was also able to call out the audible of how many players are out there for Team Liquid. And when you look at the ultimates that are available, there's nothing on both ends. So this is going to be one where Teamwork's going to have to ring. The wall comes up, it's going to be a safe plant, and we're now retreating for Team Liquid to play the pulse plant all the way back, very passively.
2 snake bites, 2 shock darts. No flank coming through. Actually, as I say that, Naxi drifting back towards me behind this knife.
Toxins going up.
So unnoted as of yet. The retake's coming through fast here from Fennel.
Oh, snake bite that allows Len to push forward off the Prowler. A second one to clear on the back, so they know there's one towards yellow. But Daiki is just going to have to bait her teammates for now. Just holding her ground, holding her corner. There's one, but no discipline this time. No swings, no trade transfer. As now Naxi's on a 2 versus 1.
It.
And that's
Actually,
it.
Festival found it. What a retake by Fennel, paying no respect to that post-plant setup. And they sweep their way back onto site. What a contrast from Map 1. Absolute confidence on display here from Fennel. Like I said, pulling out, I would say, a quirky composition, but Suzu making it work here on the Omen. A real curveball.
I can't believe it. And even when you're looking at how these 2 maps have been played so far for Team Liquid, it's been the standard